So I keep talking about Epic Universe because I'm so excited for Epic Universe, and particularly, as most of you guys know, I'm most excited for. I am the most excited for one land they have in particular at the coming theme park, and that is the Universal Monster Land. The Universal Monster Land is the thing I've been most excited for from this for the longest time, and I have been just like. I've just been waiting for it, and I hate that it's going to take until 2023 to see anything. But hey, I am. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought here. Basically, with the Universal Monster stuff, and I've talked about it before, but I've never really I don't think I've gone full into ride details. I've never really done a whole ride ideas for rides for what you could do with the Universal Monsters, because there's so many ideas you could really play with, and people have talked about certain the rumor is so far that there's going to be a show. There's going to be a ride, a dark ride inside Frankenstein's castle, and then a later expansion attraction that will focus on the creature from the Black Lagoon. Now, those all sound like really good ideas, but I just thought I would do a quick video talking about what you could possibly do with the Universal Monsters in terms of rides, and I had a few ideas, so that's what this video is. This is what the video we're going to be talking about today is all about. So, in this video, we are going to be doing a quick what each monster and what you could basically how I'm going to do this is what you could do with each monster in terms of a ride, or a show, because there is there was one monster I thought of that could work better as a show, and I think that could really work more in its favor. In this video, we're going to talk about each one. So let's get started with this is going to be an interesting one, because the first one deals with two monsters, and that is Frankenstein and the Wolfman. So the Frankenstein monster and the Wolfman, the idea I had actually comes from a idea of basically a re-theme of a Lost roller coaster. If you guys know your Islands of Adventure, you know that there used to be Lost Continent, and the big ride at Lost Continent was Dueling Dragons. So my idea is to do a new a reminisce of the old past and do a new version of Dueling Dragons, but as a dual coaster with Frankenstein and the Wolfman. That's my idea, is a Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, but it's a dueling coaster, where essentially in this ride you basically have two queues, and each one you go through is different. One side is the Frankenstein queue, the other is the Wolfman queue, and I would have the queues separate. If you go through the Frankenstein one, it leads into the Frankenstein castle, and you go through the laboratory. But as you go further into the laboratory, you see claw marks and the full moon, and you clearly see that there's been a fight between the two monsters until you get to the coaster, and then you shoot off. As for the werewolf side, on the Wolfman side, it would be you go through a gypsy camp. You go through there, and you hear the whole Wolfman, even if a man is pure of heart, you hear that spiel audio, and you hear that tale. And as you get further, you go through a graveyard that has the Talbot grave that's been opened, and you see claw marks there. But you also see, as you go further, ripped up trees and sparks of electricity everywhere. So again, it kind of shows that that the monster and the Wolfman have been throwing down already. And I would even have the dual coaster. There would be some dark ride scenes, you go through the lab, or you go through the ice caverns that held the monster and where Larry Talbot found him in the original movie. Even some animatronics. I would love to have again with Hagrid's Dark Ride, there'd be some animatronics you would see of the two monsters fighting. You would cross them as you're crossing doing loops and whatever. So that would be my first idea for this. would just have two monsters in one, of just like a cool dueling coaster for Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. And again, it would be a great a great, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a great like, it would be a nice little way to remember the past with dueling dragons. So let's move on. So there's that for two monsters. I guess you can count the bride there. As for the what was I gonna say? As for our next monster, this is probably what they're gonna do already, and that is, and again, it's a nice little nod to the past, and that is like a Jaws type ride, but with the creature from the Black Lagoon. So you would have underwater aquatics of, like, you would be going through the Amazon, and it'd be very much like the creature from the Black Lagoon, and this is probably how the ride is going to be already. So what's probably going to happen is that it's probably going to be very much like the Jaws ride, but instead of of Bruce the Shark, you're going to be encountering the Gill Man. So that's probably how it's going to go down. So there you go. There is the one for the Gill Man. I think that's what they're probably going to do. At least it's not that god-awful musical. Jesus Christ, what was that? What? Ugh. Now let's move on to Dracula. Now Dracula, I think, would be a cool dark ride, like something like what we already have with Revenge of the Mummy over at Universal. I think it would be like a cool dark ride where you're going through Dracula's castle, and everywhere you go, you encounter like either animatronics of the brides or other vampires, and of course Dracula himself. I think that's where we could possibly go in terms of like monsters and whatnot. Well, not monsters, but like ride-wise. I would even love to do like it goes super fast, like you're just shooting through certain scenes, kind of like in Rock and Roller Coaster, and again, Revenge of the Mummy. I think that's probably where we could go with that. Now, when I said like maybe there's one monster who would probably have one stage show, I'd probably imagine there'd be two. And that is the two that would probably get stage shows, one or the other, is the Phantom of the Opera and, of course, the Invisible Man. Now, the Phantom of the Opera would probably be like a dark musical that you could do, like a good 30-minute musical, hopefully better than what other musical, because man, a lot of the musicals that Universal has tried to do, with Spider-Man. I mean, they did one with Spider-Man. They did one with, obviously, the creature of the Black Lagoon. They really suck. They really, really suck. I don't even know how else to say it. But I think it would be, like, Phantom of the Opera already counts as a musical, so just do as, like, a cool rock opera. I think that would be a lot of fun. Or you could do, like, actually, instead of doing, like, the obvious theater, maybe just do a dark ride. Yeah, a cool dark ride of, like, through the catacombs as you're trying to escape the Phantom. That's another cool idea. The one who would work as a stage show, and is, like, a fun stage show, would be the Invisible Man. Like, have someone, like, the screen, like, the theater, like, like, you feel something touch you, or you hear someone walk by. Maybe, I don't know, would it work as, like, maybe, like, Alien Encounter? Like, you're locked there as the Invisible Man's going through the audience, like, touching people randomly and stuff like that. That's a thought that just occurred in my mind. So, anyway, as for the final monster, the Mummy already has his ride, but it would be kind of fun to, like, make it like a cool pyramid, like a dark pyramid ride, something like that, something different, like something more connected to the Karloff Mummy than the 90s era Mummy. As for I'd like to have the Hunchback of Notre Dame also get like a quick theme, but that would probably be like a restaurant or something at best. So there you go. I just thought I'd do a quick video talking about this, but you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys what kind of rides would you do with Universal monsters? Just comment below, let me know. Once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.